So, morning, folks. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, less than ideal conditions, right? Everybody I've spoken to is blanking, right? Unsurprisingly, um, the kind of the marks that we have local to us here that fish in the easterlies are totally coloured up, and where you've got clear water, the easterly wind just totally kills it. Now, having said that, yesterday we did manage to get on a couple of fish and a couple of missed takes, but they were takes you would have had if the fish were on. Do you know what I mean? Like they came to the surface lure. John had two fish come up to the surface lure, and he had one of them on for a little bit. So that's, when they come up and they just kind of half nose it and they're not really committed or whatever. Um, but nice to find a few fish at least, and we saw some incredible trout. I hooked into one trout, had it on for a few seconds, but it was on a DC-12, so the hooks were just obviously too big and it shook it off or whatever. Um, I mean, the Oakley glasses are just incredible. I mean, they're definitely the best glasses I've ever had. I mean, you can pick out the difference in the profile of the fish. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between bass and mullet, and or sea trout and mullet and what have you. But yesterday I could clearly see, so we initially started. Well, the first day we tried, I thought, well, we'll put the wind at our back and see, and fish a channel right down to the bottom, and we saw some lovely trout, but no joy, and didn't see any bass. Saw one bass at the very start of the day. I spooked a bass out of a weed bed, which in fairness, if I had been just fishing for myself, I probably could have taken on a creature bait or whatever, because that's usually a weed bed. I'd spend a bit of time just mooching around, throwing plastics into and wobbling around it and stuff. Um, but this business of, you can't fish in an east wind, it's just a wise tale. Like certainly some marks, will be killed by an east wind, but other marks will fish their socks off in an east wind, right? I think the most positive thing for me, right, is that, like, I've done 2 days fishing back to back, 27 kilometers over the 2 days. Like, that's just incredible. I mean, at 1.2 years ago, I was basically crippled. Like, I mean, I could barely make it down to my kitchen, you know what I mean? And when I did exercise, I suffered immensely for it. So it's great news. I mean, it just means like we've a really good season ahead. Going to catch a lot of fish. We're certainly going to be on the coast a lot, and hopefully the fish show up, right? And you can't catch what's not there, right? Um, yeah, so like, good news. That's it. And it was lovely to be out. It was lovely to see fish, and even just to contact a few fish. They're there, right? They're definitely there. They're just not on the feed, right? Um, like, in each mark is different. Like, there are certain marks I'd go to, and if there's no bird activity or life, it doesn't bother me. I know the fish are there and blah da 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 da. But there's other marks I go to, and if there's nothing feeding, I know, right? We're just wasting our time here, right? We're just casting into the void, into the abyss, if you like, you know. And from a guide's perspective, that's really hard. Like, it's quite a high pressure job, believe it or not. Like, because you want your customers to catch, right? You want to do your best for them. Like, you want to put them over fish, like, and it can be really tough then on the days when you blank, like, you feel bad, but everybody blanks. It's like, that's part of fishing, right? I just had somebody else message me there this morning who's been fishing over in Wexford, and they had a couple of days of no fish as well, like, so what can you do? You just wait for conditions to come right, and when they do, you get out there and you fish again, but I suppose the real positive thing for me is just my health. Like, it's just improving day by day. I'm just getting better and stronger, and it's hard to believe I went 3 years with undiagnosed fibromyalgia, but that's the Irish health system for you, right? You know what I mean? And actually all I needed was a huge dose of steroids, you know, and immediately the pain went away, you know. And now once a month I just give myself a big shot of steroids into the leg, and it's just made a huge difference. Like, and anybody who doubts whether these things are accurate or not, I guarantee you they are. Like when I was sick, I was getting readings of. They have an algorithm, right, that kind of gives you. They call it body battery or whatever, right? So how much energy you've got, right? And when I was sick, I would wake up with like 15 or 17 out of 100, and on those days it was like Jesus Christ, it was hard to be alive, like, you know. And I woke up the other day with like 90 something, and I felt $1 million. Do you know what I mean? And I woke up today in the 60s after 2 days of fishing. So it's just really reassuring. It means I'm going to be guiding full on this year. Going to put a lot of time into the guiding business. Going to really promote the fishing that's available on the Copper Coast and in South Wexford, and the Shore Estuary. And I mean, we just have incredible fishing, right? And it's not really getting the kind of coverage that it deserves. On top of that, it's like the Copper Coast is like just totally a hidden gem. It's as beautiful as Kerry. It's absolutely stunning out there. I mean, it's just an incredible surroundings. Like, I sent the two lads there, two chaps who were down for the weekend, asked me for a spot, and I sent them to a spot, and they were like, Jesus Christ, they couldn't get over it, And it's a spot I usually do really well in. Unfortunately, they didn't hook up. We did hook up with a couple of fish. We had a couple of drop fish yesterday. I dropped a sea trout. So the fish are there, right? The fish are there, but they're just not having it, right? So as soon as that wind moves around, unfortunately it's northerly today, and the spot I was fishing yesterday, if it's east or north, just forget it, right? We need southerly wind because it pushes them in. And not southeasterly, either southerly or southwesterly. But it's close. It's close. We're going to be on fish soon, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah. So no tackle talk today, really. Like, nothing new. I expecting the 6-inch spindle worms fairly soon, which I think are going to be totally awesome. I think we're going to catch a lot of fish this year. I certainly am looking forward to fishing them. Yeah, got some of the new BKK heads coming, and also some of the new BKK worm hooks, right? The weighted worm hooks, they're nose weighted, really clever little system. I'll show you them when they arrive. Um, BKK are a great company. It's that time of year when people are going to start thinking about surface lure fishing, and I mean, like, the king of surface lure fishing is Exorus, right? I mean, they now have the Z Claw as well, so they got the Z Claw, the Pachenko, the Frosty, the Stories, they got the full range of baits there. I certainly have done incredibly well on their lures over the years. I'm actually going to get in a few of the hard lures, because I notice a couple of the French guides are using the Joker and stuff, and it's a lure I've never fished. So going to order a few in and just give it a trial and see what I think of it, and fish it for a couple of days, check it out. Soft plastic wise, I think there are a couple of companies really worth watching this year. Raid is one of them, right? I mean, they're just making some incredibly innovative plastics, and the other is Duo. Duo seem to be kind of pushing their plastics on the European market this year, which is great. Because they're an awesome company. I mean, I'm fishing Duo 25 years now, and they've just never let me down. They're kind of synonymous with hard baits, so I'll be really interested to see, like, if the BR fish is the kind of stamp of quality and design that we can look forward to, then I think it bodes well for the future, right? I fished that head yesterday on a few different plastics. I fished it on an X layer and all sorts, and it just looks absolutely mint in the water, right? But just tough conditions, right? And that's fishing, and it's hard to take as a guide, right? You feel terrible for your clients, but that's the way of the world. You got to just keep going and keep pushing, and keep fishing. Just keep casting or whatever. I'm really tired today, so I'm not gonna spend too long on the channel. I don't really have much to say, and I don't want to be just wobbling on for the sake of it. But we'll be fishing hard next week if we get some good conditions. So hopefully have a bit more content for you then. And we've got some new products coming in that are worth talking about too. Yeah, so we'll talk to you then. And listen, thanks a million to everybody for all your support for the business and for the channel. It's been incredible. It has literally kept me going at what I would have to say are the toughest 3 years of my life. Like, you know, you no idea. Like when you lose the ability to do the things that you used to be able to do, you kind of get a new appreciation for life. Like, you kind of see it a different way or whatever. Like, I there were times I thought I'd never get out of the bed. Like, I thought, this is it, man, you're done. You're done. You're going to be here forever. And I've done 27 kilometers in the last 2 days, right? So we might not have caught any fish, but we certainly looked hard enough, and like, that's fishing, right? You got to take it on the chin. Um, but hopefully next time. And I mean, the good news is that I know the fish are there and I know where they are. It's just a case of going back now when conditions turn around a little bit and become a bit more conducive to the fish coming on the feed and stuff. But we'll keep you posted as things go. And like, my number is there. Whether you're guiding with me or not, like, feel free to drop me a line. I'll tell you what conditions are like, the water is like, whatever. It's not a secret society. Like, I don't see it that way anyway. Anything I can do to help, particularly people who are getting started. If you need advice on buying lures in the shop or whatever, what lures to buy or whatever, feel free to just drop me an email or drop me a WhatsApp, and I'll talk you through what I think will get you started and get you out there and get you catching a few fish. um, I would just start with the basics. I might do a kind of a beginner series next week or something, and just take you through kind of soft plastics, hard lures, top water, or whatever. Might be a nice way to kind of break into the season ahead, especially for those who are new to fishing, because it could be like totally just bamboozling. Like, there's so much product out there and everybody's claiming that their stuff is the best and da 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 da. Look, every lure has its day. That's the truth of it. Like, yesterday it was the DC-12. It's such a pity. I was like, I wish they did it in like a 70 mil version or something. I would have murdered trout all day. They just wanted the ghost Sayori for whatever reason. It was the one lure that they would follow and hit and bang, but I just couldn't hook one up. So, but that's it. Maybe next time, right? There's always next time. So yeah, just gonna have a short one today, guys, because I just need to get some rest and I need a break from fishing, to be honest with you. It's like 24-hour fishing life at the minute. So thanks again for all your support, and for both the channel and the shop, and really looking forward to what's going to be a great season, and lots of great footage from the GoPro and stuff once the season kicks off, especially with the top water fishing, because we're going to be doing lots of that this year. The new skylines are out from Favourite, by the way, so if you're interested in a skyline at all, give me a shout. We're going to have a full range of those in stock. Be able to get you whatever you need. I think they're going to be really, really popular, right? I haven't put my hands on one yet. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on one, getting out there and fishing one, seeing what they're like. If they're anything like the quality of the Black Swan, which I'm sure they are, they're going to be pretty cool. So and affordable, which is nice too, right? So right, yeah, Sinead, until next time, lads, have a great weekend. And if you're fishing tight lines, I hope you get a big one. All right. Mind yourselves. Bye bye.